Greetings, my name is Roman Bello, and welcome to the first episode of Properties of Life, a podcast where I'll be unpacking a variety of different topics with a new guest each episode to provide a fresh sense of interesting and philosophical discussions that hopefully keep my audience engaged with whatever I'm talking about. At the end of the day, this is an experimental project I've always wanted to do. Factors like how many people actually listen are not entirely relevant to me as of right now. With all that being said, I'm extremely delighted to announce my first guest, Daniel Vergara. I was just telling him earlier how I have 6 guests total so far in line to appear on the podcast, so it's hilarious and amazing to me for sure. I didn't really expect that. Anyways, Daniel, would you like to introduce yourself and provide some background information about hobbies and what interests you or what you've done and do before we get started?
Yeah. My name's Daniel. Obviously, as Roman has just introduced me. Um, I'm really happy to be here. This is such a great concept, and I'm actually really excited for this. I'm also excited for Roman to go forward with something like this. I have always wanted to start my own podcast, and I never really wanted to pull the trigger. And seeing this happen is pretty cool. Hobbies that I'm into and stuff like that. Recently I've gotten really into playing video games again. I also play baseball, and I play at Glendale Community College, and that has taken up basically all of my life and all of my time. And I'm not complaining, but I had not had any time to myself. So once our season ended, I literally became addicted to MLB The Show, and I quite literally played it for like 9 hours straight every day almost. But I've
Oh
tried to
man.
stop.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the baseball stuff for sure. Trust me. Like right away. Don't
All
don't
right.
even worry about that. All right. Well, I've known Daniel for quite some years now. How long has it been?
I think like
Like
four
three,
years, four
four
years, something
years.
like that.
I remember the day you welcomed me to the varsity level on the baseball team with open arms. A great feeling, to be welcomed, and not shunned by a leader like you. It was awesome. Now I've provided some context into our relationship. It makes some sense to follow up with talking about our short time frame revolving around video games. Remember that? We were playing late night Fortnite,
I
and
do remember that.
yeah, we'd have pretty impactful combos, and they were way more significant than the game. And this is kind of where it all started, like the whole podcast idea. Actually, it was with you and one of my other guys. But I remember opening up about my past and like just listening to you talk. It made me realize this would totally be like a legit podcast episode. So you know, here we
Wow.
are. But yeah, yeah. So I've learned about your upcoming through your high school years, but a question I'd like to ask you out of my own desire and curiosity would have to relate to some internal struggles I've been having, heavily conflicting with, like, I guess, lately. And, this has to do a lot with the transition that's coming. As you guys may know or may not know, I'm graduating soon. So
Mhm.
here's what I want to ask you. What was it like exiting high school and being thrown into the real world right away?
Okay, that that was probably one of the hardest transitions in my life. Going into going into high school, I was really excited, and then you know, leaving it, I was also really excited. By the time I was a senior in high school, I all I could think about was leaving. Uh,
Dude, oh my God, I know.
all I could think about was leaving, and I didn't want to leave baseball behind, but I did want to leave some of the people behind. And jumping straight into real life after high school was weird because it was like, okay, you're not seeing the people that you see every day, and then
Yeah.
also like graduation, like graduating high school is a weird feeling, like when you walk on the stage, and also like before that you're kind of like just like twiddling your thumbs waiting to get your diploma, and then you don't even get your diploma when they
Oh,
give
I
you the
know. I
ring.
heard
Like
about that.
you have to go pick it up,
Yeah.
like you have to go back to Marshall and pick it up. Like you think you're
Dude.
done, but then you go back, and it's weird too because it's like it's so weird walking on that stage because you see all the people that you like basically like grew up with, like
Sure.
that you went to school with,
Yeah.
and weirdly enough you feel compelled to like clap for them, like damn, we did it, like it's over, like I'll
Yeah.
never see you again. But I remember having like seventh grade history with you at King Middle School, and then like we went through high school and never spoke to each other, but I remember your name.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, the transition from high school to real life is a hard one, especially for me. because um, I've never thought to myself that I'd get like a normal job ever in my life. I've always been
Hmm.
so set on playing baseball,
Yeah.
and when we lost first round of playoffs, I was absolutely devastated myself because of my performance.
Hmm.
I was actually thinking about it today.
Oh
Because
God,
yeah,
years later, it's
yeah,
fucking. It
I
was
was
that
thinking about
bad.
it. Well, I was thinking about it today. I was like, damn, I wonder if they would have took me out in the fourth inning. I think that we would have won that game, and then maybe things would have been different. But
Man, it all happens for a reason.
no, yeah,
You're still
exactly.
going at it right now. You know.
Yeah,
But that I was actually gonna mention that how like were you unsure of things? Because I know you had a baseball path set out for you. Like you knew what you were gonna do, but were you
hmm
still unsure? Because that's definitely something I've been facing recently. Like I'm like transitioning to university life. It's intimidating, and I'm very unsure of what lies ahead of me in the future. So how
yeah.
did you feel about it?
I was extremely unsure. Especially like my senior year, like last year of high school, because coming up to that, like my older brother had went to GCC,
Hmm.
and I wanted to go to GCC as soon as I saw him play on the field, and I was like, I got hurt my junior year of high school, or
That's right.
going into my senior year,
Yeah,
and I had no idea what to do. I've never like experienced something like that, like so like game
your
changing.
elbow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like game changing for me, and then going throughout like fall of senior year, like my arm is still messed up and I'm not really pitching and like I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I had my whole plan set out and I was gonna go to Glendale and be like pitch there and like
Mm.
now what? Like am I even gonna play after high school? Do I even want to play after high school? Like getting injured like
Fuck,
that,
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
getting injured like that makes you just like question everything, even in your own life, like
Trust me.
outside of
Yeah,
baseball.
I know. We've both been there. You
Yeah,
remember all my junior year, I was gone
yeah,
because
I
of
do.
the fucking elbow injury. Yeah, yeah, we've both been there, and it's not pretty, man. I mean, there's a lot of things that no one will ever know about that you experienced with that.
Yeah,
It's like only those really close to you kind of understand like how much of a pain in the ass that really is and devastating it is. It sucks, but. I mean, coming back to like when you're in doubt of yourself, like what do you say to yourself? Do you panic or do you think about like the goals in the long run and like why you're even doing this in the first place? Like, what are factors that you consider um when it comes to like pursuing whatever you want to achieve and you're in doubt?
yeah. Um, when I'm like in doubt of myself or just in doubt of the situation that's going on around me, uh, usually I get angry. Like my first reaction is just to get upset, and that usually lights like a fire underneath my ass. Like okay, like I got to start moving. I got to move forward and figure out like an answer to this like situation. And I feel like I'm my personality is very like do or die. It's like go big or go home sort of thing. Like either like
Yeah,
either like we're gonna figure this out right now or we're never gonna figure it out and it's just gonna be like I'm gonna be miserable forever. Like a lot of those obstacles that I like had to face, I just faced it head on. A lot of it, like I would feel myself start to like be anxious about it, and I would just tackle the problem like head on. I still do that, and I feel like that can benefit so many people. Like it's such a hard thing to do. Like back when I was a freshman in high school,
mhm.
I had terrible, like horrible anxiety that I just like couldn't like didn't know how to deal with or even knew what it was.
Oh wow,
Um, I like was super superstitious, like had like these weird like things that I would do, like I guess you could call like OCD sort of
sure,
like to like soothe my anxiety. And when COVID happened, it got so much worse. Um,
dude, totally,
yeah.
totally. Because I have anxiety too. Like I was diagnosed recently, and I was
Uh,
kind of just like, well, it makes sense, and COVID. No, totally. Yeah, made
COVID.
everything way worse.
Yeah. It just I couldn't even function. Like I would literally like be on my Zoom class, like I guess like sophomore year of high school
Mhm.
or like junior year of high school, and I would lay down flat on my stomach because I was so anxious. Like it felt like my stomach was on fire.
Jeez.
Yeah, and um, yeah, it's just like at one point I just it just dictated my entire life. It dictated like the relationship that I was in, um, and it made me like it just made me afraid of a lot of things and just not want to go out of my comfort zone or anything like that. But I guess my senior year of high school, I guess it was because it was like the last year of like
Hmm.
anything, and I think at that time I had just gotten out of the relationship I had been in for like 2 years or yeah, almost 3 years, and I was
That's
just
right.
kind of like, fuck it, man. I'm tired of like living in fear. I'm tired of living in anxiety. I'm just tired of it. Like I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to have to like live in fear. So a lot of a lot of people would turn to like, like fucked up shit like drugs and alcohol and shit like that to like soothe that
Totally.
sort of pain, but like um I had just got a new gym membership to the gym like down the street from my house, and
Oh yeah, we're
I
gonna talk all
literally
about that.
yeah.
Trust me. Yeah, yeah,
I'll leave that part out then. But yeah,
yeah.
I got a new membership to a gym, and like I did a lot of that. I did a lot of going to the gym, and it helped me. And like when I would feel anxious about something, like when I would feel anxious about school or baseball, I would just be like, "Fuck it, man. I'm gonna go through with what I wanted to do. I'm gonna go through with baseball. I'm gonna go through with my arm. Like I'm just gonna go through with it, and I will see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'll figure it out when I get there. Like I was thinking about it today because
Hmm.
my arm injury still kind of lingers, and I'm still soothing it.
Me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
and
Yeah.
it's more so tendonitis in my forearm than anything else. So
Okay.
most of it is just like I will deal. I don't care if I can never use my right arm again. Like if I just do what I love, if I can just continue to pitch, and if I can just continue to
Don't live
like,
with
yeah,
regrets.
exactly. If I can just
Yeah.
continue to move forward, and like let's say, God forbid, like crazy fucking nerve damage in my right arm, like Strasburg's, like for the Nationals, that's something he's experiencing right now. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
like that could be me. And I was like, if that is me, at least I knew that I went fucking hard and I
Yeah.
did it, and that's what I wanted to do, and that was the consequence, and I'm willing to accept it. But yeah.
So you did what you loved. Yeah. Yeah. Is that like a motivational element, like the like main motivational element with your whole journey, or are there people around you, like your environment, that motivates you? How do you stay motivated and disciplined? You just take it upon yourself?
Um, it's when I was in high school, yeah, I did take it upon myself to do all of that, but now I kind of just see how hard the people around me are working, and I'm just like,
Oh, interesting.
I gotta be that much better than them. I gotta be
Interesting.
that much better, yeah.
So
And
you think it was a huge shift, like from high school to collegiate level, obviously, in terms of like seeing people work besides you. Like it's not like a bunch of slapdicks like at Marshall, It's like
yeah,
these dudes mean business when they're working.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
All those guys were the best guys on their team. Like all those guys were all city. All those guys are like fucking,
totally. Yeah.
like those were the guys at their school, or like
Hmm.
those were those kids went to D1 schools and then bounced back to Glendale, and like they're just like studs and they're pretty good, and it's like, damn, like we got a pitcher from SC
Hmm.
that bounced back to Glendale. And I'm like, oh shit, this guy went to SC. He's like, yeah, like I threw 94 when I was like 18 in high school. I was like, damn, you're
Oh
throwing
my God.
94 when you're fucking 18 years old. And then
Fuck.
I love comparing the stories that those guys have to like the stories that I have. Like, yeah, man, like we're fucking, yeah, like we faced fucking, I don't know, like crazy example that didn't happen, but like, well, yeah, we faced like Kumar Rocker, like some like ridiculous like name that like they all of them know, like, oh damn, like yeah, isn't he going like to Stanford or something like that? And I'm like, damn, like who we had? We faced fucking Wilson and Soto, and
Oh my God.
all the guys
Fuck.
that you think are really good, like we never played them, but like those guys like that went to those schools that we played, that Marshall played, like Soto, Wilson, like they know our names. I don't know
Yeah.
any of those fucking guys' names. Like
Yeah.
we were those guys to them. Is what I'm trying to
It's
say.
sad, but it shows levels,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's actually
Totally.
ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
the level of play in Southern Section than it was to City is like ridiculously different. Like these guys are like, yeah, like we won league, like that was awesome for us, and I was like, cool, like we've won league fucking 3 years in a row. Like there's only one time that I can remember us ever losing,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, wait, it's because they played like Westlake and like their Agoura Hills and like really good schools. Like Calabasas, and these guys are overgrown as fuck. And
You know about Calabasas and Agora?
yeah, there was some of those
Yeah.
guys. They go to Glendale.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, yeah. And I've always known like 'cause I got people out there. Their programs are like
they're
it's
legit.
completely different
Yeah,
than here.
they're
Yeah.
legit. But
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, man, like, yeah, like those dudes are overgrown, and it's like, damn, like like he's like, yeah, I was on JV until I was like a junior, I got or like a sophomore. I was like, damn, like I made it to varsity when I was like a freshman. Like that just shows like the level of like play, and then it's
Yeah.
like, damn, like we faced like a 14-year-old kid at Sotomayor who's throwing like 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour, and then these
Yeah.
guys are facing like dudes throwing like 90, 89, like sitting 89, like that's
Fuck.
ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to discredit yourself fully though, because I mean, your work ethic is pretty insane. Like I've seen it firsthand, you know. So
Yeah,
like, no matter what your environment is, you definitely put the work in, and you know that's how you get results. Like anyone would say, you know.
yeah.
But let's see, moving on here. Let's see. Yeah, more about the doubt. I guess a lot of this has to just do with my own self doubt, because you know it's a big phase,
Mm,
graduating and fucking becoming a young adult.
yeah,
But you know, I doubt myself a lot, and I have to remind myself that everything in life is all part of like one big process. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, mm, do you find yourself being reminded by people like your family that that's the same case for you? Or do you look towards a certain figure in your life for guidance, you'd say?
I have whenever I like need some sort of guidance, I always look towards my dad and my older brother.
Hmm.
Um, Guidance in life is I usually get from my dad. Like
Sure.
if I really need someone to talk to, or like somebody like I need like a reminder, a wake up call of like who I am, and like who we are as a family, and like what our values are, and like that I look to my dad. And if I like for baseball, I always look to my brother. Like I shadow what he did and what he does. And uh you know a lot of that doubt comes from yourself, but like the people around you believe in you. Like I actually like felt that recently. Like the people, like your family, those people, they believe in you and they love you. And like when shit hits the fan, like they'll be there for you.
Sure.
And like that shit's important to know. So like when you feel like any sort of doubt and like what you're doing, and especially like in the things that you do that you like love to do, it's good to like, hey, like to speak to like somebody that you feel comfortable talking to, and just being like, hey man, like I just need that reminder. Like, am I doing the right thing? Like, how do you feel? Like, what do you have on that? Like,
Sure.
that's a good conversation to have, even with your buds. Like, I had that conversation with Gio. Like,
Hmm.
hey man, not so much like more so like with pitch types and like what we're doing. I'm like, hey man, like what do you got on that? Like, what do you think? Like, I like to have. I love his point of view. Uh, and when he watches this, he'll know that I never tell Gio like that how much he means to me, but he means a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out Gio.
yeah,
Great guy. Great guy. So I'm guessing you're an advocate, obviously, of not secluding like all your thoughts to yourself and being independent, like with your mental battles and stuff. I'm sure you wanna, you know, it's good to talk to people,
yeah,
right? I mean, yeah, and it's hard though. It's easier said than done. Like it can be really hard for me at least to kind of, you know, come
yeah,
forth and talk to someone. I don't know. It's just like I think a lot of people relate to that though. So
yeah. It's a hard thing,
yeah,
especially when you're young, dude. Like it's a fucking hard thing. Like when you get out of high school and you get into like college and you like really need to fucking speak to somebody, like that's when it comes out.
yeah,
Like that's when you find that sort of like, hey, like I gotta talk to somebody. Like
yeah.
I gotta speak to someone. Like I was I was big on keeping my emotions to myself when
Mhm.
I was younger. Like from like when I was in high school, I just didn't like to talk about what was going on with me. And now I'm really open about it. Like I'd like see my therapist. Like I had a therapist in sophomore year of high school. I didn't
I was
like
gonna
to
ask
bring
you
it
that.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't like
yeah.
to bring it up.
Uh-huh.
But like I think it's a great idea for people to like get a therapist. I wouldn't say that everybody needs one. Like if you feel like you don't need one, then don't get one. Like it's all up to you. But
Yeah,
I think that like I think like especially athletes should have a therapist just to keep their mind
totally.
sharp, just to have someone like in their corner. But like like if you're dealing with shit and you just feel like you need somebody to talk to, I definitely advocate for that.
Damn, yeah. I was actually wondering. I was like, I wonder if you've ever seen a therapist, and You answered it
Yeah.
before I even said anything. But hey, going back to the gym membership thing, I
Uh,
wrote that down. Let's talk about, well, we could talk about both of our workout progression stories. We both have very similar backgrounds in terms of starting points,
yeah.
when it comes to filling out our frames. So I know I've been able to put on like, fuck, since sophomore year, I think I put on 28 pounds. And, you know, how's that going with you? How like have you? Because here's the thing with me, I plateaued for a year. Like
Hmm.
I just could not gain weight for a whole year, and that's when I was like, dude, fuck eating healthy. I'm just gonna eat anything in
You
front of
took
me.
my real advice I gave
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I eat pints of ice cream like every other fucking night. I just don't
Yeah.
care anymore. So like, what about you? Have you halted in like progressing, or are you still trying to gain weight? Especially now you're in college and you're pitching. I'm sure you're trying to do something probably
Yeah.
active.
A lot of it, man, is like, oh, man. So when I started my senior year of high school, I took a picture of the scale. I weighed 137 pounds. Like that was like the first day or like the day before the first day of senior year. I ended
Yeah,
that year at like 155 pounds, and I looked pretty good. I actually like
yeah.
I didn't look like a fat piece of shit. Like I actually like put on, even though I ate like shit and I like was drinking like so shit ton of soda. I literally like I would used to drink like not even joking. Like I used to drink like 3 cans of soda a day.
My God.
Yeah, like 3 Cokes a day, and then like when I started to take the gym really serious, I like fell so in love with like the grind and like how I enjoyed how hard everything was. Like I enjoyed like the mental fatigue I would feel, like the like I guess like the helplessness that it kind of that came with it. Like I enjoyed it because I understood like that will make me mentally strong and that will
Mhm.
make me like want to push forward.
Do you
So,
think a lot of that work in the gym helped you increase your velo, like directly? Or I
uh
know you were doing a lot of stuff with your legs outside of the gym, like before your gym
yeah.
progress, I believe, right? Yeah. I mean, I always heard about Chris. He would never like shut up about that. You'd always tell me he's like, oh, Daniel's done so much for me, and the whole pitching department and stuff. And you kind of took him under your wing and all that. So like, you think that kind of correlated to you throwing faster and harder?
Yeah, 100%. Like I probably went into like senior year. Well, going into senior year, I tried to get to 90 miles an hour, and I was probably like throwing like 82. No, like 83 to 84 was probably the top that I'd ever reached.
Hmm.
And um, I hurt my arm going to a facility trying to do that, and then like I just plateaued. I
Oh, is
never.
that how you heard it?
Yeah, I tried to like I basically
Uh,
like so I pitched probably like I like maybe you will say like 40 innings to 60 innings that junior year of high school because it
yeah.
was basically just me and Ivan and then Hosh
Gosh, yeah. Yeah,
and I feel like I was probably like the ace of that year, so I carried the load a lot.
yeah.
And um like yeah, I didn't give myself enough like time just to like chill. And I also too I was undersized, throwing pretty hard for like 130 pounds. Like
No,
I was.
totally. And that's always something I noted about you because, like, you weren't fucking one of those fucking valley kids who's like 6'5" and fucking
Yeah.
massive throwing gas. Like, but you threw pretty fucking hard for your size. And that always, like, made me think, like, you always made me think, like, oh my God, like, could someone like me, be throwing that hard too? I
Dude,
was like,
yeah, like
yeah,
when you said that, it gave me the chills a little bit. But like, yes, dude, like you can. Like,
uh,
I really do believe that if you just like work hard enough, that you can
yeah.
achieve that. Like a lot of people maybe would disagree with me, but I was my junior year of high school. I was like probably weighed like 135 pounds, maybe 130 pounds. Like I was like in between weight, and I was probably throwing like probably topped out like 82 miles an hour, 80 to 82, and like that's pretty hard for only being 135 pounds. And at that time, I was like 5'6". Like I'm not tall. I'm not a tall guy, and I've always been a skinny guy, and at that time too, I wasn't really taking the gym super serious. I like it was still COVID, so I was doing like home workouts, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah. But my senior year, like you said about like the leg stuff, like I was just kind of like into like dropping down into my back leg and like just using my a lot of my body. I feel like I've always not always, but like throughout my last 2 years of high school, I was really good at using my body on the mound. Not so much at the plate. I was never a good hitter, but like on the mound, I was I was really good at using my body. And
You had solid mechanics. I remember that. Yeah.
I I tried to be like a little bit different. I had that like leg kick that people liked, and I like to use it. But going to college, they got rid of it. But
Really?
yeah, it
Uh,
it makes a lot of sense. Like the reasoning behind that is it was just like it's not repeatable, and um, it when people are like at first base, it's so easy to take off because like the leg time is so bad. But
oh yeah. Yeah.
but
Makes sense.
yeah, I mean, going into the gym, like I went into the gym at like 137 pounds, maybe 140, and then I just fucking I had broke up with my ex girlfriend, and that just set me off. And it didn't set me off because I was so devastated. It just set me off because it was like nothing else to do.
Yeah. I remember.
And
I swear you told me you hit like 180 or some shit.
180 pounds.
Yeah. Did
I
you?
I right now no. I got
No.
to so from that to now I probably weigh like 175 pounds. I'm like 5 pounds
Oh,
off.
you're pretty much there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, fuck. Yeah, dude, crazy impressive stuff. I mean, it's like because my mindset is still put on weight, more weight. I'm absolutely not trying to fucking be losing weight right now. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm thinking about. But I mean, shit, yeah. What are you? So now that you're done for the year with GCC for right now for the season. So
hmm
are you prioritizing it more now, or what are you doing?
Like the gym, yes,
Yeah.
100% the gym, yeah. Like it was so hard. Okay, like I was coming out of the bullpen, so I had no set schedule on when I would pitch. It was like a toss up. Like if the situation's right, like you're gonna pitch, Daniel. I was like, okay.
Okay.
And yeah,
Damn.
dude, you don't even know half of it. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
man. Like if the situation's right, like maybe you'll come in. Like
Yeah.
maybe. Like if our guys, hey, like this dude who just came out of the bullpen is struggling, give
Mm.
Vergara hot. Okay, get hot. Like I'm getting hot, and it's like no, you can't even do your J bands, dude. Start fucking playing catch. It's like okay, like I'll start playing catch, and you're playing catch. Just like bro, what are you doing? Start getting warm. Like start throwing your off speed pitches. Like okay, I'll start. I'll start actually throwing off the mound, and then like also too, like it's the fucking seventh inning, and you're like playing with your dick in the dugout. Like, holy shit! Like, when am I gonna go in? It's also like fucking 50 degrees, and at Stangl, there's like you're in a valley, so there's
Okay.
so much wind blowing into the dugout, and it's fucking freezing. And it's the seventh
So
inning, and you're
you're
like,
not out at all.
no, dude,
Yeah.
you're
Uh,
fucking cold.
uh,
You're fucking freezing cold. Like there's a day here. I'll tell you about one of my outings. We played Mission,
yeah.
and up until this point, I had lost time out of the bullpen because I like just absolutely fucked myself. And uh, I'm sitting I'm sitting in the dugout, and and everybody has a job, right? Or not everybody, but usually pitchers have a job. And my
Yep.
job that day was to do music. So I'm sitting down doing music for the
Wait,
guys.
wait, wait. What?
Yeah,
That's a thing?
yeah.
A music job?
I played the music for the stadium. Like I played the
Okay.
strikeout sound. I played up the walk up songs.
Oh my
I played
God.
like the walkout songs for the pitchers.
Yeah.
I played the songs in between innings. Like that was my job. So
Okay. Okay.
so I'm sitting in the dugout,
Yeah.
just like chilling. I have not moved from my spot, and I'm playing the music, and it's fucking freezing. And my hands are freezing, bro. Cause I have to hold the phone in my hand. I can't like
Yeah.
set it down because it's always music's got to play at some point. So
Sure.
I'm freezing, and it's like, hey, Vergara, get hot. I'm like, okay.
Oh
Then I'm trying
man.
to find someone to do the job, and it's like, what are you doing? Get in the bullpen. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's really a test. It sounds like they're really just testing you to see if you can
It's pretty awesome, honestly. Like
yeah.
it's like just a scramble. Like I enjoyed that a lot. Like it was like, what are you doing? Like in the bullpen. And so then I get in the bullpen, dude. My eyes aren't even adjusted to the light. Like I'm just throwing. Like I'm just throwing the ball, just trying to get it to the plate. And then I go out there and I have like a pretty good outing. And it was just like strange because it's like, hey, like you have like 5 seconds to get to the bullpen, and then like you're not even gonna do your J bends. You're gonna get hot, and then sometimes, bro, it'll be like, hey man, you got to get hot right now. Oh shit, I'm getting hot. I'm getting hot. All right, getting my arm. I'm throwing, whatever. I'm throwing off the mound, and
Yeah.
then like the guy will get out of the jam. And it's like all right, it's gonna be you out of the bullpen next, and then It's a long inning, and then it's like, and then they start to get somebody else warm, and then it's like, hey,
Oh,
like sorry,
really?
yeah, it's like sorry, you're down,
Wow.
dude. You just
Fuck.
you're not gonna go out there anymore. It's gonna be this guy,
Fuck.
and you're
Wow.
like,
That's
damn.
brutal.
And it's called it's like getting blue balled. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Like you
Oh,
just
yeah.
like you go out there, you get warm, and then it's like, hey, like you're not going out there anymore. You're
That's
like,
fucking.
and then
Oh
it's like,
man.
all right, whatever. Like
I mean, it's
that
all
happens.
overcoming adversities, and it's like it's
Yeah,
impressive shit. I
I
mean, to do
enjoyed it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a lot. Like having to like, damn man, like it's not my turn yet. It's not my turn yet. But like I'll get my chance, and when I get my chance, like it makes you hungry for
Yeah.
your opportunity when you get
Totally.
blue balled
You gotta
like that.
prove. Yeah, you gotta
Yeah.
prove to yourself and to others. Like especially, it's always like, oh, don't do stuff for other people, but it's like you gotta show that like you're worthy of, being
No,
on that
yeah, dude.
mound. I'm sure.
At that level, you
Yeah.
have to prove yourself. Like
Yeah.
they know you're
Yeah.
good because you're at the school, but like you have to like prove yourself. And those the guys that like junior colleges play with so much grit. It's like um they play with so much grit that like you you kind of like look back at yourself like, damn, am I just soft? Like, really? Am I just that fucking soft? Like, dude, one of the games we're playing at Mission, a ball
Mm.
went straight through my sunroof, like straight through my sunroof, shattered it, and I was like, hey coach, like I'm like, damn, like I gotta go home. It's still during the game, and I'm like, well, like I gotta take care of this because this is horrible.
Oh
So,
fuck!
so
I
yeah,
really was trying to interpret if you really meant your sunroof, like your
yeah,
car.
like, to the car, like to my car,
Wow.
it goes straight through
Wow.
and shatters my sunroof.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, okay, well, like, I have to go home. Like, I got to figure this out. Like, that was my first
Yeah.
reaction. I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I'm shaking hands with the guy, like, yo, I'm leaving. Like, that was my car, whatever. And then I get to my head coach, like, hey, coach, I'm going to go. And then he's like, you're leaving? I was like, yeah, that ball just went through my sunroof. He's like, he starts laughing at me. He's like, okay, see ya, man. And I was like, what? Like, what? So then I ended up staying.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Because
Fuck.
like I was like, damn, am I just being a bitch? Like for real? And then
Yeah.
I drove home with like broken glass in my fucking car and
Oh my
like
God.
yeah, and it
Jesus.
wasn't like it was probably like a 35-minute drive back home too. Um,
You didn't go on the freeway, did you?
no, I did,
Oh my God.
but
Yeah, like glass flying around and shit. Jesus.
my sunroof like lid was open, so
Oh,
when the
okay.
ball went through, it was just the glass. So I just closed the lid.
Okay.
So, but there was glass probably like coming out behind me and shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, like that's just like there's so many like cool stories like that. Like junior college baseball is a lot of fun. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess transitioning to, I think this is like our last thing. Fuck, guess how long we're in right now? We're 33 minutes in.
That's pretty good. I think
Yeah,
we
I
almost.
thought we weren't even gonna scrape 10 minutes, but I was nervous. I was like, fuck. I don't know if you saw this one coming, but I did want to ask you about your tattoos.
Oh no, I didn't. I did not.
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, yeah,
All right. Well, I know you have one on your arm, right? And on your quad?
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, no, this is me just asking. This is at my own curiosity. This is fuck the audience. This is for me. Well, if you're listening, I appreciate you, but um, I want to get a tattoo soon. I don't know how soon, but I've always been wanting one on my back. So, can you talk about like what influenced your decision to go ahead and, actually get one or two?
Yeah. My dad and my mom both have tattoos. So my dad has
Hmm.
a good amount of tattoos,
Okay.
and I've always told my dad he has this like this tattoo on his ribs that my grandpa had, and he got it when my grandpa passed away. And I told him I was like, Dad, like at some point I will get that same tattoo as you, like that in that exact same spot. I'll get that same butterfly tattoo that you and grandpa have. Like that was like something I had told him when I was young,
Yeah.
and I had, like I've seen him with tattoos. I've always thought tattoos were cool, and I was like, you know what, man? Like I want a tattoo. So when I got my tattoo, I was 17, and I guess in the state of California, it was like you can sign off and get your like child a tattoo, but you can't do that anymore. So my dad made me a fake ID. And
Oh
yeah,
fuck.
I got my tattoo for Christmas, the one on my arm, the one that's like a bonsai tree, says "calm" on it, and
Did you just submit to a crime on the podcast? No, fuck, who cares?
It's fine. It's already on my arm.
Yeah, who the
they
fuck
can't
we are.
come. They can't come for me.
So, but it's a big traditional thing. It sounds like.
Yeah, but like the one
Yeah,
I have on my left arm, the one that says calm, like it. I was trying to get something meaningful, like something that kind of like something that was like meant something to me. So like, what calm
yes,
means to me, I guess, is like when I was growing up, I was super short fused, had super thin skin, and let everything affect me. Like anything anybody
sounds.
said,
Yeah,
just went straight to my ego, went straight to my head, and it made me really mad.
dude, I'm the
And
same way.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like as I got older, and I like my dad was like really influenced this. It was like um really influenced me being um being like I guess calm, like just calming down and like hey man, like things will be okay. You just gotta like hey like and Josh Hernandez too. Josh Hernandez went to Marshall. I think when
yeah,
you were there too.
yep.
I remember one day he was just like we're like fucking with each other in the outfield and he said something to me and it just set me off and I just didn't talk to him. I got so upset. He was like, I remember this like really vividly. He was like, dude, you got to get some thicker skin, and that like sat with me for a long time. I still think about it like, damn, like I did get thicker skin. Like, like a big part of life. This is a really good thing, I guess. Like a big part of life is like not letting those little things overwhelm you or um, change you or um, affect you like in any sort of way. So like especially the
Totally.
mental side, like those little like
Yeah.
mental things that just sort of like it seems like they build up. Like okay, you start your morning off, you have a headache, or like you're in a bad mood, and then like you drop your fucking toothbrush, and then like as you go to pick it up, you hit your head on like the fucking screen like the glass door of what's going on, and then you start to spiral, and then you start to get really
Dude,
upset, and then that ruins your day. Like
it's yeah, yeah. Life is so much more mental than it is physical in a way.
yeah,
Yeah, in the most simplistic way possible. Like, if you say you stretch your arm out right now, you didn't. Yes, you did that physically, but you told your mind, you told your brain to do that. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
like everything revolves around your mind. I mean, it's crazy, but it shows. It's also shows how powerful the mind is and how it influences so much, like the way you act, the way if it goes back to like having a positive mindset. It's like when you
yeah,
wake up and you're in a shitty mood, and then you're like, oh, or you're like, oh, I feel like I'm gonna fail this test, and like you're just setting yourself up for disaster. And hey, I mean, I do it all the fucking time,
yeah.
but it's not a good habit.
having
But
having a positive mindset is probably the most like mentally challenging thing that you could do
yeah,
in life, especially like I guess like me and you are sort of the same in that sense. Like it's
yeah,
it is kind of difficult to have like just be have that positive attitude and just like attack life in that sense. Like when I was 17, like I know you turned 18, but like, when I was like
yeah.
17, I was not good at doing that. But now I feel like I'm really good at doing that. Like when people like, especially and when people just talk shit to you for absolutely no reason, and like oh man I'm fucking oh man I gotta say something back. Like no you don't. Like
Yeah,
that person has nothing better to do than to talk shit to you, and you know that not whatever they're saying isn't true. Then like and even if it is like damn you're gonna go for the throat man like that's cool.
Marshall baseball, bro. I swear.
Yeah,
Fuck.
like you can settle with that. Like it's fine, but there is a certain level of disrespect that like that that goes with everybody that you can't take anymore. And I'm not gonna like
Yeah,
draw that line in the sand on where you can make it or where like fucking I don't know like where Gio can make that line of disrespect like where he can't take anymore. But like there whatever that line is for you, there's that
yeah,
line for you. But I feel like it takes a lot for me to really like respond to shit like that.
yeah.
Now before no, but that's what calm means to me about my arm was just like the switch in mindsets that I had from being a super hothead with a short fuse to being somebody who can deal with those little things and like not let the life overwhelm me as much as it used to. And so the one on my leg, the 13, that was my second tattoo.
Uh-huh.
Um, I throughout baseball I wore the number 13 because my older
Yeah.
brother wore 13, and me and my brother both wore 13 our senior year of high school. He wore it all throughout high school. I wore it my last year because everybody had
What were you
13.
before that? Were you 23?
Yeah, I was 23.
I remember that. Yeah.
Uh, and I remember changing my jersey number to 13. I remember picking 23
Hmm.
and going off to play basketball for a little bit, and it was just like burning me up. I was like, I have to change it, and I was like, hey Brian, can I change it to 13? He's like, yeah. And then I remember I took the number from Q because he was like, God damn it, Daniel, what the fuck? I was like, sorry, dude, and I just like walked
Dude,
off.
don't mess with that guy, bro. Oh my God, you should see him now.
No, that dude's
Fuck,
huge, bro.
he's
I used to
huge.
I used to play little league with him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Dude, he's
remember he
also
got.
a
I
great
remember.
guy.
Yeah, he is a good guy.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
he was pitching one day and he got like comebacker straight to his chest and he still made
Oh
the
my,
out.
oh my
And
God,
we were like 10 years old, bro. But yeah, like
dude.
that's 13 for me. Mostly, it's less of me wearing it in high school and more so for my brother John, who influenced me so much in baseball and in life
Yeah.
that I want to. I guess like it's so much
Take a
in life
tribute to
and
him.
baseball. Yeah, so much in life
Yeah,
and baseball that I want to be like him. So like 13, that's for my brother John.
yeah.
And then I have one on my right arm
You
now.
do?
Yeah, where it says Vergara's rule.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and my Vergara's rule tattoo is for the family. My mom, she made it up. It's called just Vergara's rule. There's people ask me, they're like, "Oh, like what's the rule?" It's like it's not a rule. It's like Vergara's rule. Like they rule. Like that's what it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
like they're like oh you rule type
yeah.
thing.
Like
Oh, I also thought it was like some kind of like rule that you stood by or something.
everybody asks me that question,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, it's just like they rule. Like we rule. Like
yeah. That's
we
dope.
are awesome. But yeah, that's that. That's the explanation.
It's great how they're all symbolic of something because I mean that's like the biggest reason why I'm like kind of lacking or hesitant. It's because like I want to actually have a tattoo that has some fucking purpose to it. Like, don't get me wrong, a JoJo star on my back would look sick,
Yeah.
but it's like when what if I get tired of it in a couple years because there was no reason behind it. It just I thought it would look cool. You know, it's like
Yeah, but
I
like
don't
a lot of those, like my first tattoo I got, I was like, damn, like get this bonsai tree to be sick, and then like after I
yeah
got it, after a couple months, I was like, damn, bro, like why the fuck did I get this? This is corny as fuck, like, and then I just like start to like forget the reason on why I got it, but like, like actually, like if you just want a tattoo that means absolutely nothing to you, but it just looks cool, like just
you
get it.
think
I feel
yeah
like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Like, hey
I,
man,
I
why do you
fuck
have
with the
that?
tree.
Why?
Yeah,
Thank you. It's like, hey
I
man,
thought
why do
its
you have
aesthetic
that?
is cool.
It is cool. The guy who did a really good job. But like,
Yeah,
if you want a JoJo star, I was thinking about a JoJo star on my back too,
yeah,
and like
yeah.
because it's cool. Like it's cool. Like
It's dope.
in a way, it means something to you. Like it means
Mhm.
like why you watch JoJo's or like like because
Yeah,
they're so like I don't know. Like it's like Jotaro for example, so stoic and like he figures shit out and like that's something that you want to be or like any of the
yeah.
Joe stars that are so strong and like fucking whatever. But yeah.
I think the Phantom Troop symbol is also fucking so badass. You know what that is? The huge spider
Oh
from
yeah, or
Hunter
like
x Hunter.
the Berserker one too.
Oh, that's
The
right.
the curse
Yeah,
mark. That one I think that one's
yeah.
cool, but I would never get that.
No, no. I've fucking what's that called? What's that from? The thing with guts?
That's Berserker, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. I've never read or watched anything about it, but I've just heard horrible
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
It's like,
pretty.
yeah,
It's pretty fucked up. That's just pretty fucked up.
yeah. Well, what about on the pain scale? Talk to me about that. Like, cause I'm a
Oh.
pussy with this shit. It lingers in my mind a little bit. I'm like, oh fuck, does it hurt?
Would you say that you have like a low pain tolerance?
I'd say honestly, it depends on the fucking day. For the most part, yeah, yeah,
Well, I would also go as far to say like I also have like a pretty low pain tolerance. So
yeah.
um, especially with needles, I hate needles. That's like my least
Ugh,
favorite thing. And
yeah.
getting a tattoo is basically getting like
The needles,
stabbed with
kind
a
of,
bunch of
right?
needles
Yeah,
over and over again.
yeah.
If you get
Oh,
somebody,
jeez.
yeah, literally, if you get somebody who's pretty good,
Mhm.
uh, then if you get somebody who's pretty good, then like they kind of like ease the pain with like how good their hand pressure is or whatever. But
Mhm.
it's still gonna hurt. It's probably like it's probably like a 7, depending on where you get it.
Oh wow.
If you get it on
Yeah,
your
I've heard that.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
get on your back like you want,
Uh-huh.
once you get closer to the spine, it's gonna hurt a
I want
lot.
one on my spine. Yeah.
That shit's gonna hurt a lot because it's on the bone.
Yeah.
And when you get like
Fuck.
tattoos on the bone, it hurts. But when you get it on the muscle or like on your stomach, like it's gonna hurt less. Like, or I guess the stomach for me, because
Uh-huh.
I don't have fucking abs like you. But
Hey, trust me, they're just going away, bro. They're fading away. It's sad, but hey, back to the process shit. It's all part of a fucking process. I
yeah.
mean, what did I expect to keep them if I want to bulk up? It's like no, it's
But
fucking no.
yeah, but the one that did hurt a lot for me, like the one I had on my left, didn't really hurt too much. It hurt a little bit. My dad was telling me like, "Oh, this is the worst pain you're ever gonna feel," but just to like scare me. But on my right arm and my on my right arm when it got close to my injury,
Ah.
it hurt so bad. Like it was I couldn't
Oh
sit still.
wow.
It was
Fuck.
like I had like
That's
my hand over my face. Like
uh-huh.
damn, like I didn't cry, but like I was like, "Fuck, this hurts a lot."
Yeah, that's yeah. Did the person doing it were they aware of that, or is it kind of just like a
No, I
you
just
just
let him
keeping it
keep
for
going.
yourself?
Like I kept it
Yeah.
to myself. But he asked me,
Fuck.
he's like, "Which one hurt the most?" Like the one that you just did right now. I told him I was like, "Yeah, I
Yeah.
play baseball and I hurt my arm." And when he got
Yeah.
close to like that forearm injury that I had, like it when he did the S and
Uh.
Vergara's, it hurt a lot. I was like, "Fuck."
Fuck. So oh, it was the same guy all three times?
The first time no, but
No.
next two yes.
That's dope. Yeah. Do you think you'd get another tattoo someday down the future,
Yeah,
down the line?
my birthday's next week on Thursday.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't even
exactly a
know
week
that.
from
Yeah.
now. I turn
Yeah.
19, so I was thinking about getting a new tattoo.
Where is it? Is it a surprise or where you
No,
thinking?
I was thinking about getting a match tattoo with my dad because the 13 tattoo, me and my dad have it, and so does my mom. And I want to get a match tattoo with him because he was thinking about getting a tattoo from the movie Blood In, Blood Out. Have you ever seen that movie?
No, no, I haven't.
It's
What's
like
that about?
it's like a basically it's like this like I guess you could say gangsters. They're like uh one of them goes to jail or whatever. It's like a Chicano movie basically.
Okay.
And in one of the scenes, this guy named Rooster, he says, "Life's a risk, Cardinal," and Cardinal is like brother kinda. And we wanted to get that "Life's a risk, Cardinal," and then a big ass rooster. But
From 1993. Okay, I'm
yeah,
looking at it right now. Yeah.
and we're thinking about getting on our legs, but I don't know how far that's gonna go. I'll probably get Life's a Risk Cardinal because I think that's a that's a good that's a
Statement to
good
stand
thing.
by.
Yeah, Life's
Yeah.
a risk.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, it's like it's good to take risks. That's
Yeah, that's life,
that's
literally.
just a part of life. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, we are, believe it or not, I did not think this would happen. We are 48 minutes in. That is insane.
I could talk
I
forever, man.
think, yeah, man. I mean, fuck. What a great first episode. Way to open this shit. I think that wraps it up. We covered a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we
Um,
finish up?
I mm, I'm really excited for where this goes. I hope you figure it out. Like the
No.
podcasting on your own,
Or
but
I'll have
like
to do in person. That's always
oh,
another
that'd
thing.
be lit as
Yeah.
fuck, and you get to record it. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I would listen to all your podcasts for sure. You have a lifetime viewer right here as your first fucking guy on the
Thank you, bro.
thing.
I need that because I
But,
have no idea how many people are gonna watch this shit.
but like, I think that this is gonna be something really good, and I think it'll be really good for you, to get
Yeah.
so many different perspectives on life, and especially going into like college.
Yeah.
Guys who have, I guess you're gonna interview some guys who have like gone through life and gone through difficult shit in life, and like how can you attack that? And I think that's a really good thing, and I think that's a really good thing
Yeah.
for the viewers as well if they are also coming out of high school. I know like this might sound corny to you now, people who are watching, but like some of this shit might be valuable to you, so maybe keep watching. I think
Totally.
yeah, I think a lot of the things
Totally.
that you're gonna hear are gonna be really valuable
It's
to your
valuable for
life.
me, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. I feel like I just got smarter. But no, I mean, thank you for coming on. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's legitimately the very first episode because I told you, I mean, I've had this idea for a year.
Uh-huh.
And I just never like went through with it. And I was like, dude, I was like, bro, I don't have work anymore. I'm just showing up to school and sitting in a fucking classroom doing nothing for 2 hours. So I'm
So
just
good.
like, yeah, I'm just like, dude, like I'm bored. Let me do something. And
Yeah.
like, man, I'm loving this so far. But I guess I should probably thank the audience. For whoever listened, if anyone listened, I appreciate you tuning in. And if you liked it, there will be more to come. So follow my Spotify if this is on Spotify, or subscribe to my YouTube if this is on YouTube, or both eventually. Who knows? I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. That is all. Let's see. Let's see the time. Fucking 50 minutes. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.